Happy Halloween. This is a study on wizards. Wizard, I think, is in the Bible 11 times. So I'm just going to read you like the 11 quotes, okay? Most of it's the law, real simple. How about Leviticus 19:31? Regard not them that have familiar spirits, neither seek after wizards to be defiled by them. I am the Lord your God. Leviticus 20, line 6, the soul that turneth after such as have familiar spirits and after wizards and go whoring after them, I will even set my face against that soul, cut him off from among his people. Go to jail. You know what I'm saying? How about Leviticus 20:27? A man or woman that hath the familiar spirit or is a wizard shall be put to death. Stone them with stones, their blood's on their own head for their wizard shit. Now, again, this is not the supreme law here. I mean, it's in the Bible. People here, wizards here, are entitled to due process and to be tried for their crimes. Okay? So, how about Deuteronomy 18:11? I'll read from the book. Deuteronomy 18 is talking about the Levitical priesthood. When you come into the land of the Lord your God gives you, you must not fall into the habit of imitating the detestable practices of the natives. There must never be anyone among you who makes his son or daughter pass through fire, or practice divination, who is a soothsayer, an augur, or a sorcerer, or anybody who uses charms, consults ghosts or spirits, or calls on the dead. That man who does those things is detestable. Detestable to the Lord your God. It is because of those detestable practices that the Lord your God is driving them out. Okay, so no fraud. Stick to the laws. How about 1 Samuel. Samuel was dead. All Israel lamented him, buried him in Ramah, even his own city. Saul had put in jail against those that had the familiar spirits and all the wizards. That was 1 Samuel 28:3. So I'll put the wizards away. Okay. 1 Samuel 28, line 9 says, the woman said to him, Behold, thou knowest what Saul did, how he cut off all those with familiar spirits and the wizards out of the land. Wherefore, you're going to lay a snare for me. That was the story where they conjured up the witch, and she didn't want to do it. The witch of Endor conjured up like Samuel, I think, right? She didn't want to do it because she was afraid of conjuring shit up because Saul put all those wizards away. How about 2 Kings 21, line 6? Somebody made his son pass through the fire and observed times, used enchantment, dealt with familiar spirits and wizards, wrought much wickedness, provoked the Lord to anger. 2 Kings 23:24. Moreover, the workers with the familiar spirits and the wizards, images and idols, and all the abominations that were spied in the land of Judah and Jerusalem did Hosea put away, that he might perform the words of the law which were written in the book of Hilkiah the priest found in the house of the Lord. 2 Chronicles 33:6, probably the same story. Somebody caused their children to pass through the fire in the valley of the son of Hinnom, observing times, enchantments, witchcrafts, dealing with familiar spirits and wizards, much evil in the sight of the Lord. So let's see who that was. 2 Chronicles 33. 2 Chronicles 33 is called the Manseiah, the signs of Manseiah and Ammon. Manseiah was 12 years old when he came to the throne, and he did what was displeasing. He copied the shameful practices of the nations who the Lord had dispossessed for the sons. He rebuilt high places that his father, Hezekiah, demolished. He set up altars to the Baals, made sacred poles. He worshipped the whole array of heaven, served it, built altars in the temple of the Lord. He built altars to array the whole array of heaven in the 2 courts of the temple, caused his sons to pass through the fire in the valley of Ben Hinnom. He practiced magic, soothsaying, witchcraft, introduced necromancy and wizards. He did many things displeasing to the Lord, provoking his anger. He placed an image of the idol that he made in the temple of God, and he said to David and his son Solomon, in this temple and in Jerusalem, a city that I chose out of all tribes, I will give my name a home forever. I will no longer turn Israel's footsteps away from the land that I assigned to their fathers, and provided that they observe all that I order them in accordance with the whole law, statutes, and ordinance given through Moses. And Manseiah led Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem astray. That's who did it. Manseiah did it, and so they did more evil than the nations that the Lord had destroyed before the sons of Israel. The Lord spoke to them, but they paid no attention. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Okay, so we have some quotes from the Quran too. This one is from Isaiah. Isaiah 8:19. When they shall say to you, seek unto them that have spirits, familiar spirits, and to the wizards that peep and mutter. Should not a people seek unto their God? For the living to the dead. Isaiah 19:3. Spirit of Egypt shall fall in the mist. I will destroy the council, and they shall seek to their idols and their charmers, and them that have familiar spirits and wizards. Here's some mitzvahs. That's not the kind. These are the Jewish stuff. Thou not inquire of an orb. Now the mitzvahs are Jewish, like, summaries, I guess. You know, they read the Bible and they made quick little things with quotes. So, not to inquire of an ob, a ghost, Deuteronomy 18:11. Not to seek Matim, the dead, Deuteronomy 18:11. Not to inquire of a Yidonai, a wizard. Not to remove the entire beard, like the idolaters. Not to practice kesem, a general term for magical practices. Not to practice the art of chover chaver, casting spells over snakes and scorpions. That's Deuteronomy 18:11. Not to practice kisuf, magical herbs, stones, and objects. Not to consult with wizards, Yidonim. They're getting that from Levi 19:31. Not to consult Ovath, they say that's ghosts. Not to practice Nashesh, doing things based on the signs and portents, using charms or incantations, Leviticus 19:26. Not to practice Wanim, observing times and seasons as favorable or unfavorable by using astrology. That's found in Leviticus 19:26. Okay, so let me just click on this Quran thing because I am pretty sure. Okay, it says the devils persistently plunge their human associates deeper into wickedness, sparing no effort. That's Al-Araf 7, line 202. We have the willfully deaf and dumb are the worst, according to the Quran, Surah Al-Anfal, line 23 to 23. Indeed, the worst of all beings in the sight of Allah are the willfully deaf and dumb, who just are not understanding. Okay, so happy Halloween. I mean, scare is in the Quran 5 times. So in the Night Journey, which is chapter 17, line 76, there talks about people whose purpose was to scare you off the land in order to expel thee. But in that case, they would have stayed. They would only stay for a little while themselves. In chapter 3, the family of Imran, verse 173, says, a great army is gathering against you, and frightened, it only increased their faith. Trick or treat, that's in there. Well, these were all the words for treat in there, so. Chapter 56 is called the event, the inevitable event. You will, O ye that go wrong, and treat the truth as falsehood. And if he be of those who treat the truth as falsehood, the inevitable event, chapter 56 in the Quran. I don't have the Quran pulled out, but maybe we'll read that later.